Once the universe of services is mapped, shared responsibility must be clarified in writing. Every external relationship splits control across provider and customer, but those boundaries blur easily unless defined explicitly. A shared responsibility matrix documents who handles patching, incident response, encryption, and monitoring. For instance, a cloud provider may secure the physical infrastructure while the customer secures applications and data stored within it. Ambiguity in this matrix breeds gaps where no one acts because everyone assumes the other will. Written responsibility alignment transforms assumptions into accountability, ensuring both sides understand exactly what they own and what they must deliver. Before signing any agreement, organizations conduct pre-contract due diligence and provider screening. Due diligence examines the provider's security posture, compliance history, and operational reliability. Screening may include reviewing audit reports, certifications, or even on-site assessments. For example, verifying that a vendor complies with recognized frameworks such as ISO standards or federal guidelines offers confidence in their discipline. This evaluation is not distrust, it is validation. Just as you would inspect a building before moving in, you must examine service providers before entrusting data. Thorough screening uncovers risks early, allowing for negotiation or substitution before dependencies become entrenched. Next, security requirements must be embedded directly into agreements, not left to interpretation. Contracts should specify minimum safeguards, breach notification procedures, encryption expectations, and audit rights. Including these clauses from the start ensures that obligations are enforceable, not optional. For instance, a contract might require multi-factor authentication for administrative access or annual penetration testing with results shared upon request. Legal language becomes the binding extension of policy. Without these terms, even the best security expectations remain unenforceable promises. Embedding requirements transforms contracts from business documents into governance instruments that codify trust. Once agreements are active, logging, monitoring, and evidence obligations maintain transparency. Providers must produce logs relevant to shared responsibilities and retain them for defined durations. They should also make evidence of compliance, such as audit results or configuration snapshots, available for review. For example, a managed service might supply monthly security summaries or direct dashboard access. Without evidence, visibility fades and accountability erodes. Logging is not a matter of curiosity, but of verification. Shared monitoring closes the distance between customer and provider, creating an unbroken line of sight into systems that, while external, still influence internal security outcomes. Data residency, portability, and exit plans also demand attention early in the relationship. Residency defines where data physically and legally resides, which determines the privacy and regulatory regimes that apply. Portability ensures that the organization can retrieve its data in usable form if the contract ends, while exit plans detail how data will be sanitized or destroyed. For example, requiring providers to return and verify deletion of all customer records within 30 days of termination prevents lingering exposure. Planning for departure before arrival might seem pessimistic, but it protects continuity and sovereignty. Control of data must remain with its rightful owner at every stage. Change notifications and incident reporting windows form the operational heartbeat of coordination. Providers should commit to notifying customers of material changes, such as infrastructure updates, control modifications, or ownership transfers, within defined timeframes. Incident reporting windows specify how quickly the provider must alert the customer when a security event affects shared data or services. For instance, a 24-hour notification requirement ensures that dependent systems can respond promptly. Timely transparency allows synchronized defense and recovery. When notification expectations are unclear, hours of silence can multiply damage. Defined communication timelines keep both parties aligned when speed and trust matter most. Sub-processor transparency and approval rights extend that trust chain further. Providers often rely on subcontractors for hosting, analytics, or customer support. Customers must know who these subprocessors are and retain the right to approve or object to changes. Without this visibility, data might traverse environments never reviewed or authorized. For example, a provider outsourcing backups to an unvetted third party creates new risk beyond the original contract. Maintaining an updated subprocessor list and notification process preserves control over the entire service chain. True accountability requires knowing not just your provider, but everyone your provider relies upon. Verification then closes the loop through attestations, tests, and sampling. Attestations include independent audit reports or certifications confirming compliance with security frameworks. Testing may involve penetration exercises coordinated between customer and provider. Sampling allows customers to examine a subset of controls or configurations directly. For instance, requesting quarterly vulnerability scan results provides reassurance that defenses remain current. Verification transforms trust from assumption to evidence. It ensures that providers remain accountable throughout the contract, not just at signing. In external relationships, proof sustains partnership far more reliably than promises. Despite careful contracting, provider gaps may still exist, and compensating controls bridge those weaknesses. If a provider cannot meet certain technical requirements, such as encryption at rest, the customer might add a separate encryption layer before data leaves its boundary. Similarly, enhanced monitoring or data tokenization can mitigate provider limitations. Compensating controls preserve risk balance without ending the relationship outright. They demonstrate flexibility without surrendering security. The key is documenting these compensations formally, reviewing them periodically, and ensuring they remain effective as technology or business needs change. Periodic reviews, renewals, and retiering ensure that external service relationships remain fit for purpose. Over time, providers evolve, markets shift, and criticality changes. Annual reviews assess whether service performance, control maturity, and risk exposure still align with expectations. Retiering may move a provider from low to high scrutiny if reliance or sensitivity increases. For example, a tool once used for internal testing may become integral to production operations, warranting deeper oversight. Renewal processes also allow renegotiation of clauses that proved weak or outdated. Regular assessment keeps partnerships accountable, agile, and aligned with evolving risk appetite. Metrics track performance through defect counts, closure rates, and adherence trends. Defects measure compliance gaps identified during reviews. Closure rates show how quickly providers address findings. Adherence trends reveal whether quality is improving or declining over time. For example, if repeated audits expose the same issue, that signals either neglect or systemic weakness. Metrics quantify partnership health and guide retention decisions. Numbers tell a story that anecdotes cannot, whether trust is strengthening, stagnant, or eroding. Data-driven oversight turns supplier management from instinct into governance, ensuring decisions rest on measured evidence. In conclusion, managing external system services means balancing empowerment with control. Control SA-9 teaches that convenience must never outrun assurance. Every external connection extends your trust boundary, and that boundary is only as strong as its weakest partner. By defining responsibilities, embedding requirements, and verifying performance, organizations transform external dependence into dependable collaboration. Security is not about saying no to outsourcing. It is about saying yes responsibly, with eyes open and evidence in hand. Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit BareMetalCyber.com.